church and let's go. Guys, something's wrong when we give our God-given role not to be somebody who overpowers or overtakes, but actually lives it out, who takes the lead, who said, I'm going to be first, to be an example of the cause of Christ in my home. Now, guys, let me just challenge you today. If you've done that, if you're not the spiritual leader that you're supposed to be or that you want to be, don't beat yourself up about it, first of all. Just say, God, help me. And then figure out a way, learn from somebody else who's doing it, somebody you can learn from, and just do that. Now, let me just share a personal example from my life, okay? I noticed that, you know, I'm always at work, and I'm trying to minister to a bunch of different people, all the people who are in our church and outside of our church. But the one thing that I started noticing is that I don't really spend a whole lot of time with my family. And that really began to bug me. And one of the things I talked to Jennifer about, and this is fairly new, and I'm not great at this yet, but one of the things that I said to Jennifer is, I would like us, as a family, to have a family night. And so Mondays has become our family night. And let me just tell you that everything in the world has come up on Monday. And I've had family nights that lasted a half hour. Like, we're going to eat together as a family. And then I got to go. And I'm learning to calendar stuff away from Monday. I've got to spend time with my family. I've got to be that one who takes the initiative in my home. Because you can gain the whole world, and it won't matter if you don't have your family loving God. And you're not being that example. It doesn't matter. You know where I learned that from? A family in our church. The Bowerfields. They have a family night. And I said, how do you do that? And she kind of explained it to me, and I tried to implement it at home. But look, don't be embarrassed to ask people for help. How can I become a better man? How can I become a better dad? How can I become a better husband? There's people that can help you if you're willing to say, you know what, I need that help. Now, let me just give you the last point. The fifth kind of man that God is looking for today is this: men who put service before security. Men who put service before security. And the sad thing about that is everything around us is telling us you have to have more. You have to have the biggest, you have to have the best, you have to have the newest, you have to have the most, the recent iPhone or whatever it is. You know, you have to have that sort of stuff in order to feel good about yourself. And the Bible says, look, you just have to be willing to serve people. That's more important than finding your security and all that other stuff. Now, notice what he writes in Philippians. Paul continues and he says, therefore, I am more eager to send him. He's talking about Epaphroditus. You know, he was sick. I know you're worried about him. And because of that, I'm more eager to send him, so that when you see him again, you may be glad and may have less anxiety. And he says, welcome him in the Lord with great joy and honor men like him. Honor guys that are willing to do it all for the cause of Christ, to go for it, to risk your life even. Now notice it, because he almost died for the work of Christ, it says. Now notice what it says, and you might want to circle this on your outline. Risking his life to make up for the help you could not give me. He risked his life because not everybody could make that 800-mile trip. But this guy said, look, I'll go. I'll take that money to Paul. I'll take care of Paul. And in the process, he risked his life in order to serve somebody. He gambled with his life, literally. Now, let me just say this. There's a lot of churches, there's a lot of people who go to church that aren't sold out to the cause of Christ, and I get that. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer to make that decision of whether or not I'm going to follow the Lord. But let me just challenge you guys today. Put God first. One of my favorite verses in the entire Bible says, when you put God first, when you make him your priority in your life, then God will take care of everything else you need. Why? Why? Because He's a good God. He's the creator of everything. Not only that, He allowed you to be created so that you can have a relationship with Him and so that He can pour out His blessings upon your life.